This man does stuff, and he does it afraid, but he does it. This is where God even the angel encountered him. He's doing something afraid, but he's doing it. He's doing it in an unconventional place, but he's doing it. God gives him an assignment. He does it. He's afraid, so he does it at night, but he does it. All right. So now we know the story of the Lord dividing and pruning and purging out those who gathered with Gideon to come against these people, the Midianites, to come against them. And the Lord said, still too many. Brought them down, long story short, brought them down to 300. Small number again. Because if it's a large number, the people will take credit for it. So God said, no, I want them to know that it's me. I want them to know that I am with them. Okay. Gideon, still afraid, but he does it. So now, this army, vast army, compared to the 300, has camped out in the valley of Jezreel. And God speaks to Gideon, and he says, I want you to go down to the camp. And you're going to see them with you. And then he says, if you are afraid, go down and take Hua with you. Now, I'm going to stop for a second. The Lord says, if you're afraid, still go down. This is his relationship with Gideon the whole time. Even though you're afraid, still do it. Even though you're afraid, still do it. And you will see what I produce out of it. Right? So I thought that was funny. You thinking the Lord is going to say, okay, but if you're afraid, and then he's going to give him an out or something. No, he says, take this servant with you. Now, mindful, when he tore down this idol, evidently it was heavy, it was big, it was large, because it took 10 men. Now, I don't know if it took 10 men because they were weak. Now, know that these people are, their land has been ravaged. Every time they plant or sow anything, the Philistines would come and take it and then like tear up the soil so that they can't bear anything. They can't bear any fruit. This was an agricultural place. Everything was done this way. So they would tear it up so that the people couldn't produce. So since they can't produce, they can't live independently. Okay? So the Lord tells him to take this man. And I'm like, why this man? And why does he have a name? It was 10 servants that it took to tear down the idol. And none of their names were mentioned. Here's this one servant, and his name is mentioned. Why? His name means that bears fruit, or bough, where we get the word branch from. But so imagine a tree, but then you know those thick branches that go off, those are boughs. The thing that comes from the branches are the things that bear fruit. Okay? So the bough stems from the tree. The tree would be a vine. The bough would be the thick branches, not the little skin, the thick branches that come from the tree. It is the bough or the branches that twigs and things come from that holds the fruit. It's not the tree. It's the branches, right? So his name means not bears fruit, but that bears fruit. Interesting. So he tells Gideon to take him. That bears fruit. The Lord has a sense of humor. They go, they listen, they hear. Gideon is strengthened because they overhear someone telling a dream, and it's not just the dream, it's the interpretation of the dream, right? So God gives this man who hears the dream the interpretation. And he interpreted Gideon being the dream, in the dream, right? Again, go read it. I don't say things. I can give you the scripture and text. I want to provoke you to go get it. Go look at it. So, but this valley. So I was like, where were they? What valley were? Interesting. Even the valley of Jezreel, very fruitful and plush place. This is that place. Jezreel was that place where Ahab wanted Naboth's vineyard. He wanted to make a garden. It was in a very strategic place. Yes, that's important. But he wanted it for a garden. Naboth didn't want to give it to him because, first of all, the Lord forbid it. If there was a land, if your family had land, it was supposed to go to the next generation and the next generation and the next generation. And so you would always have land, right? To provide for your family, to produce from some type of income, means of income that will cause you to be fruitful, to bear fruit. The name of this valley was God Scatters. Okay? Another interpretation is God grows. God scatters. God grows. Look at what's going on here. Where God will scatter your enemy, God will cause you to grow. Where God prunes that which is not needed or that which is interfering with growth, where he scatters, he will cause it to grow. And the interesting part is when seed is scattered, it's not specific, right? When something is planted, it's on purpose and it's specific. But when seed is scattered, it can fall anywhere. Isn't that interesting? So where God scatters, God can cause to grow. Some of us feel like there's been a scattering because of health. I'm saying this way because y'all already know. Because of health situations, safety, there's been a migration, there's been a scattering. We also know, and we can look in Acts, God does do a thing. Even though there was much persecution and the people were scattered, the scripture lets us know that as they were scattered, they grew. The gospel grew. So where they were caused to scatter, the gospel grew in those places. Where God scatters, he also causes to grow. The man who was with Gideon is interesting. We knew he had servants because we knew 10. It was for the tearing down. Gideon's name means to hew down, right? One of the descriptions of a prophet is to tear down, to uproot, but also to build and to plant, right? So where God causes an uproot, it's for the purpose of planting. Where he causes a tearing down, it's for the purpose of building. So my prayer for you, that God will connect you with people who, even though you fear because you don't know what's going on, but you're trusting God. You fear because you're aware of your own lack. Scripture says that Gideon was strengthened when he heard. But here is his servant with him. And I'm saying, what did the servant do? All he did was go with him. If they were caught, it was still only one man. How could that, help him? But this one man, evidently, this was a man who had proven to be faithful. Evidently, this was a man who had proven to be by Gideon's side, regardless of what will go on. Because why would he be encouraged to take this man? Okay, it was something about this man. So I pray that even those that God connect with you, even what appears to be the scattering, people are moving, people are leaving your life, and God is the one doing it. Take heart. Those that are with you will be evidence of that which bears fruit. Where there's a scattering, do not be discouraged. The place where there has been scattering in your life, because God caused it to scatter, God will also cause it to bear fruit, and God will grow it. God will grow it. Take heart, be encouraged. He's the same God. He does not change. Why use this one? Why use this account? Because he's the same God. There are significant things in your life. Look around you. Gideon had Purah. Look around you. There are things that God has still put around you for evidence to you and for you. That even the things that you are facing, yes, God scattered it. God called. It wasn't the devil. God caused it in certain places and areas in your life. He caused there to be a scattering. Yes, he did. But why? So that he can plant that which he will cause to grow. Let the word of the Lord encourage you.